Hey there, welcome to today's episode of Coffee Solo. This is June 21st, 2025. So 2025 06 2101. It's the end of my birthday. If you caught yesterday's show, you would know that. June 21st, a day that will live in infamy or something like that. The quite an eventful day, not for me. My day was actually pretty boring, pretty chill. I think I'm going to title this, I'm updating my notes right now, Not What I Asked. No, not what I wanted. There you go. Not what I wanted. There was nothing going on for me, which is kind of a shame. It's something I will touch on. Vegas streamers. I should go out more. I'm going to add that to my little outline here. I just jotted down a couple of ideas, but I did want to be honest, I thought this was going to be episode 2 for the same day, because the whole reason for having the 01 on the end is so that I could do an episode 02 or 10 episodes in a day or whatever, right? Engineering thinking. And I think in my first episode, I said that this is also the serial number format for domain name records. So I'm like, okay, so year, 4 digits a year, 2 digits a month, 2 digits day, date, and then a serial number 01, 02, 03, etc. So, maybe we'll see if sometime during Sunday I can do, because once again, this is the end of the day. Anyway, one of these days I'll do 2 or 3 episodes in one day. We'll see if something interesting happens. Anyway, the summary in my immediate vicinity, I have to say my birthday was uneventful. Not true on the global stage, one might say. In case it's sometime in the distant future, I'm going to guess it was probably on my birthday, somewhere on the planet. The bombing of Iran, if you prefer, something that John McCain tried to be funny about, I guess, because John McCain. But yeah, bomb, Iran. If you remember that. If you don't, that's fine. Don't forget the links. You can check those out wherever you found this episode, hopefully on Ko-fi.com. Don't forget to check out buymeacoffee.com/Dan Hugo, where you'll find links to all my audio programs and projects and whatnot. And the Buy Me an Update audio program on buymeacoffee.com/danhugo/posts. And don't forget the affiliate link for the Nasal Fresh MD. That's not going to be around forever, but since I've been talking about it, my voice is a little bit better. Today was a challenge for the allergies, but weathered it okay. I would like the full range of my voice to return to me so I can speak more clearly, I think, with more timbre, but not too bad. You be the judge. But anyway, yeah, so today for my birthday, which is just about to end on the West Coast, I didn't even tell you the time. It's we started at about 10:50 p.m., so it's Saturday, June 21st. It's my birthday. It's 11 o'clock now, so whatever time we started, it's 11:01 at the moment. We must have started at 10:55. Anyway, 11:01 p.m. on the 21st, so my birthday on the East Coast has already come to an end. I did verify, if you heard the show on the 20th, I commenced the show at 9:03 p.m. Pacific time, which is just after midnight, 12:03 in the morning on the East Coast of the United States, and I waffled on whether I was born in the evening or in the morning. I guessed it was 6:06 p.m., but I wasn't completely sure. I have verified that with someone who was in the room, so 6:06 p.m. So technically, I'm a few hours late in the actual anniversary, the official birthday and time, but whatever. So yeah, the Iran thing is kind of crazy. Politics aside, everybody's pointing fingers and America first and no more wars and all the chaos and whatnot. But it's going to be interesting starting now to see what unfolds when Operation Desert Shield was put in place. I think it was winter break of my freshman year of college, if I remember correctly. No, it had to be sophomore year. Let's check that out. Desert Shield. Yeah, 1990. Oh, it was August, so it was the summer, initial phase of the Persian Gulf War. So January, oh, no, that's right. It started in August 1990 was the beginning of Desert Shield, and then in January of 1991, I think it turned into Desert Storm. So I remember we came back it was winter break, and then we were all piled into our party room because we were watching Desert Storm unfold, and then everybody was freaking out, like, is there going to be a draft? So interesting time. So not since then has this been sort of, because that's a part of the world that is a little tense. And so anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. We're starting to get commentary from people about, will there be retaliation? Probably. Will there be attacks in the United States, within the United States? Maybe. So it will be interesting to watch. So yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday to me. It's not what I wanted. So I was just watching, there's a lot of content creators in the Vegas area. Sometimes they are compensated by the LVCVA, the Convention and Visitors Authority. It's basically the tourism agency for the greater Vegas area. So some of the content creators are compensated, some are not. There's one person here, Not Leaving Las Vegas, is his channel. I watch every once in a while because he's kind of off. He's a little, on a personal level, I think his name is Steven something. So he's lived here for like a decade, just like me. He's from Canada, not just like me. And I guess tonight, Saturday night, he's been wandering the Strip as he usually does. So he either wanders around on Fremont or wanders up and down the Strip. And he checks out other parts of the greater Vegas area, but those are sort of the two basic go-to spots. Like if you're going to do something that's oriented towards familiar landmarks and commenting on the resorts or events going on or the crime or the lack of crime on the Strip or other circumstances, it's kind of low-hanging fruit. So he does the Strip every once in a while. So I was thinking, so I've lived in Vegas since, I guess officially August 1st, 2013. So it's been 12 years. Soon it'll be 12 years. And of course, when you first move here, or when I first moved here, I got a job. So I moved here in August, looked around for what I was going to be doing. Interesting times, had a couple of dramatic scenarios unfold, which I don't think I'll probably talk about, but either way, I'd rather just not talk about those circumstances. It was a little chaotic. Just be careful who you hang out with. But by January of 2014, I had a conversation with somebody I used to work with, and he said, hey, you want to work for Intel? Can I work there from Vegas since I just moved here? Well, you'll be traveling a lot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I remember saying, you mean like Up in the Air travel? Like the movie Up in the Air, which is one of my favorite movies in that sort of type of movie. And he goes, no, well, maybe. And it was. It was not quite like 248 days or whatever whatever the travel amount that Ryan Bingham did, the George Clooney character. I wasn't nowhere near that close, but I was traveling quite a bit. Most weekends I was gone for a couple of years for Intel on behalf of my employer, or traveling to Ireland quite a bit, or France or whatever. So when I was here, I would take maximal advantage of the 2 or 3 or 5 days before I was heading off somewhere else, or if I was going to be out of town for a couple of weeks. So, hey, while I'm in Vegas, I'll hang around downtown. It was the downtown project days. I would wander Fremont, or I would East Fremont especially. Became a regular at several spots. Not as much hanging out on the Strip, but certainly more than none. So when I watch the streamers here, so not leaving Las Vegas, Steven, whatever his name is, he just wanders around and comments on things. And again, he's a little off. Some of this, he's very opinionated, and he will share his opinions on things. And I'm like, it's not exactly correct, but okay. His opinions on things like technology or tech policies and things, that's where I kind of like, I don't know. But it's interesting, it's interesting that he wanders around the Strip. So I'm like, this is kind of the armchair I'm too lazy to go down to the strip, so I can just watch someone else do it. And so this evening he was started out at Caesars and walked north on the strip. I think yesterday he walked south. I do not watch his channel every day, but every once in a while I'll catch it. It's a live stream, so I see what's up, and he's basically showing what's going on so I don't have to. And I find it interesting that I don't have to go out, but at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute, I live in Vegas. There has to be something good about the fact that I still live here. I talk a lot about the entrepreneurial innovation ecosystem and our Innovate for Vegas Foundation. If I'm going to live here and I'm going to look at those things, every once in a while I should get out. I should get out and go on the strip and just walk. You can walk on the strip for free. And if you are willing to take a bus, you just jump on a bus. I can jump on a bus as my leg, which my leg is getting better, by the way, every day. It's even better today than it was yesterday. So I can walk for, it used to be 8 minutes. It would probably take me a little bit longer, but I'll get back to 8 minutes eventually. There's a bus, I'm not going to say a bus terminal. There are two bus routes that operate out of it, but one route has two directions. So it's technically three, the 106A, the 106B, and the CX. So woohoo! I can jump on the CX and head to downtown. It takes 20 minutes, so it's exactly the same as driving. And then if I want, I can jump on the Deuce, the double-decker bus that you may have seen if you've been around Vegas. So if I get a 24-hour pass, $5, I don't have to deal with parking. I don't have to deal with a car getting broken into. I don't have to worry about getting back to my vehicle. I just jump on a bus. The DX runs 24 hours. The CX runs until like 11 p.m. And then the 106 runs until some crazy hour. I think there's one that runs, I think I can basically get home on the bus. So I don't have to pay the ridiculous rideshare, Lyft, or Uber rates. Don't even get me started on taxis here. So yeah, I could literally, and so I'm like, you know what? Once I'm back from this leg injury, and by the way, on Tuesday it will be 4 weeks, but I think all things considered, it could have been much worse. And the fact that I'm, like I said, basically getting better every day. Like every day, I'm like, oh, okay, walked a little bit farther on Friday than the day before, right? I walked to the grocery store twice, one time during the day, and then once I forgot two things. So I walked back over there. I did have to resort to the cane coming back because my leg was getting a little tired and I want to fall over. But I'm like, hey, that was much better than 2 days earlier. Certainly a little bit better than the day before. So yeah, it's a measurable improvement, which is good for morale, if nothing else. But so once I'm kind of back to normal, and it will be good anyway to get out and do some walking. That is not my usual neighborhood circuit. So I do a 3 mile just to get out and get some sunshine, or just generally to move. Movement is good. Movement is life, to make another Up in the Air reference. So I like to get out and do some walking. So I should jump on a bus, head downtown, or to the strip. You can wander around the strip for days. You can wander through each resort, each casino, catch whatever else is going on. If you go before things close, you can go into any number of stores. If you want to go to the M&M store or whatever it is, no, it's not the M&M. Well, there is an M&M store, I think, but there's also the, is it the Reese's store, the Hershey store, whatever it is. So you can wander around and see what the latest Reese's peanut butter or whatever. You can go to any number of bars. You can check out the CVS on the strip. That's always fun. The characters that are wandering there. So anyway, there's all manner of people watching. You could probably catch a streamer wandering around the strip creating content for their YouTube channel. So the list of possibilities is endless, and it's all free, $5, $5 free. So yeah, it's on my list of things to get back to. I should really be enjoying this place more. There are some fun things about living in Vegas, and I should take advantage of them more. Not quite as much as I used to, but yeah, I should be getting out more. So I'm lamenting my laziness, I suppose. But it is interesting to see that people, absolutely for free, like, Steven does okay, but he's too annoying, so I don't want to spend money. I probably would if he was a little bit more regimented about being a good steward, but I think he's so opinionated and so not correct sometimes that he gets annoying. So I usually have enough patience to catch a little bit of a stream every once in a while. 2 days in a row was a bit much, but we'll see. When I do get in Las Vegas up and running, he would be somebody that I would reach out to and say, do you want to be in the content creator section? Because he needs help. But so I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence there. But speaking of needing help, I would like to give an update on my director search because the Innovate for Vegas Foundation needs more board members, more than just one, since the other two bailed. Good riddance, is all I have to say. But yeah, my search for referrals. So, hey, do you know anyone that you could point me to or point them to me who might even be interested? That is proving to be impossible. And there's an implicit, like, you could recommend yourself. You could say, hey, oh, maybe I'm interested. But the amount of response has been profoundly disappointing, which leads me back to the I should get out more. Because it's really proving to be, it basically comes down to a stale contact list. Like, I need to meet more new people, you could say. So surely there are people doing things that would take an interest in being interesting. A lot of the people I know are either jaded, and as I've said before, I don't know if I've said it here, but I am the leader of the jaded people in Vegas, so I can't fault people for that. But if I only know jaded people, they are not going to respond with like, hey, yeah, they're just not going to care enough to respond. So that's what I've gotten. So it's been a little bit of an eye-opener or a reminder, I suppose. And it goes back to I need to get out more, like I said. So, yeah. You know what I've noticed? So when I was in college, I know that's a long time ago, but since we're talking birthdays, when I was very young, I was, the common wisdom was that I would watch The Tonight Show and then I would wake up for The Today Show. So if you're not familiar, The Tonight Show would be on at 10:30 at night, and then The Today Show would be on at like 9 in the morning or 7 in the morning or whatever time it was. We were in New Jersey at the time, so it was whatever the East Coast times were. The wisdom was that I didn't sleep much. So what is that like? I didn't go to sleep when the show started. I would watch the show and go to sleep after. Was I really watching those shows? No. But I was just awake during those times. So I was just always up. I was not a long all-day sleeper. And that carried through college. I was most likely to be awake, most likely to be wandering the halls at 3 a.m., whatever my dorm awards were at the time. And that was all relevant and correct. Hey, Dan, you want to go to Thai food at 2 in the morning? Of course. Hey, Dan, can we borrow your lockpicks? Well, I can go with you since I know how to use them. Sure, let's go do a prank at 3 in the morning, whatever it was. So that was always convenient. And during my time in Silicon Valley, I was always awake. I was totally cool staying at work until all hours. When I worked at Netscape, I lived close enough. It was farther than a reasonable walking distance. I could have if I needed to, but it was surely a very quick drive, so I could shoot home and take a shower and go back to work. So I think I spent 4 days there one time, where it was literally go home, take a shower, come back to work. So that was pretty tense times. But I have always kind of been up for that because it's kind of exciting, or it's kind of like, it's not, because you can take some of the pressure off if you're not looking at the clock, like, oh, I got to go home. So it'd be like, oh, I don't have to go home. So I can pace myself. I can slow down a little bit. If I need to go home and take a nap, I could, so there was never, I'm trying to think if there was ever an occasion. Yeah, there was once at Phillips, for example, we needed to fix something over the weekend. So, okay, so the clock was ticking in that case. But usually it was more of a choice to do the pacing so I could spread my workday over more hours and see what occurred to me, see who's wandering the halls at 3 a.m. at Netscape or wherever I was working at the time. So I've noticed, and I used to be, like when I was going to hackathons for Intel, back when I first moved here to Vegas, I would get on a plane, I would be in some city, I would be at a hackathon for 48 hours. usually awake for most, if not all of it. I'd get back on a plane, I would fly home, and then I would catch up on some sleep. And then I would go wandering the halls of Vegas and then do it all again the following weekend or wherever my travel schedule led me. And I've found that certainly post-pandemic, I've not had that sort of that always on, that always ready, that always like up for doing stuff. I'm not saying like doing pranks. I mean like, oh, during the week, I should try to accomplish this thing towards my ultimate goal of launching startups or whatever I'm doing. And I found that you can say I'm getting older. Clearly today is an example of that. But I think it's really just like being surrounded by people that are kind of the same ilk. Clearly Netscape was true. That was true there. So I think, and I don't know if I've mentioned here the second startup scene that I'm trying to kind of get going. The startup scene in Vegas is very weird. It thinks it's a lot more than it really is, but I don't want to discount the fact that there are people doing interesting things here. So kind of have to, like I said, get out more, meet some more people. I signed up for a hackathon. It's an AI hackathon, so I don't have high hopes, but it's in August. I think it's August 12th. You have to apply. You include your GitHub URL and what else? Oh, your LinkedIn profile. So I'm hoping, I mean, they may say no, they may reject me. I don't know, but I'm kind of hoping that that I can go check this out. I'm not a fan of AI hackathons, and the weird, crazy part of this hackathon, the hackathon actual hands-on part where you're actually working on a thing is like 2 hours. That's not a hackathon. That's like a coding weekend. I'm not a coder. It's a coding afternoon. It's in the evening in this case, but it's like from 5 to 7, I think it is, or 5 to 7. It's 5 to 7. Then you present until 8:30, like whatever you finish, you make a presentation. There's a wrap up and it's done by 8:45 p.m. So it starts and ends in the same evening. Like that's not really a hackathon, but okay, sure. So we'll see how it goes. I figure I'll try to run into some maybe the movers and the shakers. It's been a while since I've actually tried to see what's going on the ground, and I am a big fan of that. I think top-down view of things is not always so telling. I think being in the mix, especially since I'm actually working on startup things, and I should see what the state of affairs is in the AI space. I know what it is just from where I'm sitting, but I should get out and see what people are doing. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If I end up going, I'm sure I'll talk about it. I'm probably going to bring my field recorder, and I'll see if I can catch some commentary before, after, maybe during, whatever they'll allow. It's going to be at the WeWork space, which I'm not a fan of. First of all, it's on the south side of the city. It's basically on the same street as the airport on Sunset. In the what is it called? Town center, like an outdoor mall. Looks like a little city, like a little town, like sidewalks and the streets where the cars are driving make it look like it's a little town. And there's little stores, and there's a Whole Foods. There used to be a Container Store. I think that's closed. There's a movie theater. There's a bunch of little shops and restaurants, and there's this WeWork facility. Everybody always has their meetups there for things like this. I don't like the space. It's too far away. It's just not, it's not great. So, but we'll see. We'll see what unfolds. I found this because of a LinkedIn connection that I just added. This person works for a company called Comet and does some other things. Comet is all about the AI stuff. So she's really driving AI in Vegas. And so again, not a huge fan. And I get the sense that she's really leaning into product placement. Like, hey, don't forget, we're sponsoring this. Our company is called Comet, and be sure and sign up for, I just get a sense that I've not met her. So I don't know. I'm just being pessimistic. But LinkedIn has been really bothering me. I think I already mentioned this yesterday. LinkedIn is horrible, but I've noticed that my connections from, 20, what is it? I joined 22 years ago, I guess it was. Most of my connections are stale and not worth it. So I've been pruning away the old, unresponsive but I've added a few new connections, and they're doing stuff in the local economic ecosystem space. This person, the lieutenant governor of Nevada, which I'm sure that won't actually be useful, but we'll see. Who knows? So yeah, I've added like 8 people in the past week, which is unusual since I haven't been getting out there and meeting people in person. So we'll see what that leads to. I'm not totally optimistic, but yeah, the new city of Las Vegas, urban and economic development person. I don't know what her title is, the director of that, or it's a city staff position. There's basically 2 top level, like sector managers, I guess. So there's the technology stuff, and I've talked about Michael Lee Sherwood before. No, did I talk about him here? Maybe. So he's the director of disruption, or whatever his title is, city CTO. And then Dina, what's her name? Dina Babsky. Recently, she was the deputy director. I think it's director, I guess. Director of Urban and Economic Development. And her boss, whom I did know, and I had a couple of conversations with him, even in person, Ryan Smith, had passed away like 6 months ago out of nowhere. I don't even know what happened. So I reached out to her. Oh yeah, maybe there's something we could collaborate on. So I sent her some detailed emails with some like, here are the specific things, and if any of this looks interesting, let me know. I will not hear from her. I know. This is Vegas. I forwarded those to the Lieutenant Governor, Stavros Anthony. So we'll see what comes of that. And then I actually reached out to my council person, Nancy Bruni. She's a PhD. So kind of, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. I have interacted with her in person once. She's better than I'm in Ward 6 in the city of Las Vegas. My council person before Nancy Bruni was, maybe you've heard of her, Michelle Fiore, who recently received a pardon from Trump for her felony conviction for like misusing donated funds and stuff. She's, when I met her, I was like, ugh, yucky. She just felt like a smarmy person. So not a fan. I'm not happy that that she was my council person. I think I met her in person twice, and that was too many. But so I've reached out to my council person, to what's his name, Hartford, or my representative, my congressional representative. What is his name? I think it's Stephen Horsford. I can't remember. I should know that. I met him in person once. Who else have I met in person? There's a couple of people. So we'll see. We'll see who actually makes a connection. So the people I've connected with so far, if I reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for connecting. Here's some stuff that I'm working on. It'd be interesting to have a conversation about this. I never hear from them. And that's, again, why LinkedIn is a little stale. And I've talked to people that I actually know, and they say the same thing, like, nobody really responds to things anymore. So it's not just me, or at least that's what I tell myself. So anyway, it's now 11:30. So I will try to get this posted by before midnight. So it's officially at the end of my birthday on the West Coast. I guess the timestamp on the platform in question, whether it's Spotify or Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-fi.com, I guess there's a timestamp that will imply the posting time. I'm always reading, when I say with the time that I start recording, it's always my local time, which is Pacific. So I really, being the pedantic programmer type that I am, I should be more specific. I should be more pedantic. But yeah, that's the case. So it's 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, June 21st. So we'll call this an episode, wrap it up, and I'll get it posted. And that'll be that. So thank you for listening, as always. And I will assume you are saying, oh, by the way, happy birthday. And I would point out that it's a little late, but thanks anyway. And we'll catch you next time.